The story begins in a quiet coastal town in the Philippines. The waves of the Pacific Ocean crashed gently against the shore of Samar Island, where a little girl named Amara Dela Cruz lived with her mother, Liza, and her younger brother, Mateo. Their house was made of bamboo and tin, with walls that creaked when the wind blew. Life was humble, but Amara's laughter often filled that small home with light. Amara had always loved to sing. From the time she could barely walk, her lullabies were replaced by melodies she made up herself. Her mother used to smile as she scrubbed clothes by the river and listened to her daughter sing songs about the sky, the sea, and dreams she couldn't yet name. Her father, a fisherman, had died at sea when she was only 5 years old. Since then, her mother worked tirelessly washing clothes for neighbors and selling rice cakes in the market to make ends meet. But through all the hardship, there was one thing that kept Amara strong: her voice. It was soft but powerful, fragile but full of emotion. At the small local church every Sunday, people would stop to listen when she sang hymns. They said her voice could make even the waves go still. One evening, during a small community festival, an American tourist happened to hear Amara sing. The man, who was visiting with a group of volunteers, was stunned. He recorded her performance on his phone and uploaded it to YouTube, never imagining what would happen next. Within days, the video exploded. The clip of the barefoot Filipino girl singing, "You Raise Me Up," in front of her village crowd reached millions of views. Comments flooded in from around the world. "She sings with the soul of an angel. This is what real music feels like. Simon Cowell needs to see this girl." A few weeks later, an email arrived. It was from the producers of America's Got Talent 2025. They invited Amara to audition in Los Angeles. Her mother thought it was a scam. But after a few video calls and official confirmations, the truth sank in: Amara had been given a chance to sing on the world's biggest stage. They didn't have passports, or money, or even proper clothes. But the entire village came together. The local mayor helped them apply for travel documents, a group of teachers raised funds for plane tickets, and neighbors donated what little they could. Amara's mother wept as she packed their few belongings, tucking in her husband's photo and the rosary he used to carry at sea. When the day came, Amara boarded her first airplane. The sky above Manila glittered, and as the clouds opened up, she whispered a prayer. "Papa, I'm doing this for you." Los Angeles was a world she could never have imagined. The lights, the skyscrapers, the noise, it all felt like another planet. The AGT stage loomed larger than life. Backstage, she saw people from all over the world. Dancers, magicians, comedians, all wearing perfect clothes, confident smiles. Amara stood in her simple white dress, holding her rosary, trembling. When her name was called, "Next up, Amara Dela Cruz from the Philippines," her heart nearly stopped. The bright lights blinded her as she walked onto the stage. The audience went quiet, and 4 judges looked up. Simon Cowell leaned forward, eyes skeptical. Sofia Vergara smiled warmly. Heidi Klum waved. Howie Mandel whispered something and laughed. Simon spoke first. "Hello there. What's your name?" "My name is Amara Dela Cruz," she answered softly. Her accent was thick, her voice shaking. "And where are you from?" "From the Philippines, sir." Simon nodded. "And what will you be doing for us today?" "I will be singing a song for my father." The crowd gave a small "ah," and Simon tilted his head. "All right, Amara. The stage is yours." The music started. The first few notes were uncertain, trembling. She began to sing, "I Have Nothing," by Whitney Houston. At first, a few people looked unsure. But then came the chorus. Her voice lifted, powerful and rich, every note soaked in emotion. The strength that came from her pain, her love, her hope, it filled the entire theater. Simon's expression changed. His eyes widened, his usual stern face softening into disbelief. By the final note, Amara held the microphone close, closed her eyes, and let out a long, trembling high note that seemed to pierce the silence. When she finished, the entire audience erupted. People stood up. Some were crying. Sophia covered her mouth in shock. Howie shouted, "That's how you do it." But Simon didn't say anything. He just looked at her for a long moment. Then he stood up, slowly walked to the judges' table, and pressed the golden buzzer. Gold confetti rained from the ceiling. Amara gasped, covering her face as her mother ran from backstage, tears streaming down her cheeks. Simon smiled and said, "Amara, that was perfection. I've been judging this show for years, and I don't think I've ever seen anyone sing with such pure emotion. You didn't just sing the song, you lived it." The clip of her golden buzzer moment went viral instantly. Within 24 hours, Amara became a global sensation. News outlets in the Philippines called her the voice of the islands. People all over the world donated money to support her family. But fame came with pressure. The next rounds of AGT were even harder. Amara faced contestants who were professional singers, with stylists and vocal coaches. She had none of that. During rehearsals, she would sit alone, praying before each performance. In the semi-finals, tragedy nearly struck. Her mother fainted backstage due to exhaustion and stress. Amara was told minutes before she had to perform. She wanted to quit, but her mother regained consciousness and whispered, "Sing, my child. Your voice is my strength." That night, she sang the prayer, half in English, half in Filipino. Her performance was haunting, a blend of innocence and divine power. The judges were speechless again. But the final twist came during the final round. Amara chose an original song she had written herself, called Wings of the Sea. It was about her father, a fisherman who had never come home, but whose love guided her still. As she sang, behind her, the stage screens showed footage of waves, sunsets, and a small fishing boat rocking gently. The crowd was silent, utterly transfixed. When she finished, there was no sound for 2 seconds, then the entire theater stood, roaring. Simon wiped his eyes and said, "Amara, I don't cry easily. But you just made me." The votes came in. When Terry Crews announced the winner, the confetti fell again, this time silver. The winner of America's Got Talent 2025, Amara Dela Cruz. Amara broke down sobbing. Her mother ran to her. Simon came up and hugged them both. He said softly, "You've just changed your life forever, Amara. And you've reminded all of us what true talent really means." Months later, Amara returned home to the Philippines. The entire village gathered at the shore to welcome her. Her house was repaired, her brother was back in school, and her mother could finally rest. But Amara never forgot where she came from. She started a small foundation to help poor children with music scholarships, naming it, the Wings of the Sea Foundation, after her winning song. And every year, on her father's birthday, she would walk to the ocean, barefoot, hold her rosary, and sing to the waves.